episode of Star Trek with a screen like this is absolutely the way to go, don't you think? Well, now that we've all sung along, and by the way, you've all learned these words mighty, mighty fast, because I can hear you all singing. Great, great job. Let's bring to the stage the songwriters of Subspace Rhapsody, Kay Hanley and Tom Polce.
Tom Polce. No. I think these are Richard's clients. I bet they are now. I'm from Richard will coach them.
That was like, I'm like, well, you know, like I get to the Hollywood Bowl when we have like, you know, Sound of Music sing along too. That movie's been around for like, you know, 100 years. But, you know, this just dropped over the summer. And I'm sitting right behind you, by the way, right over there. And I'm watching you know, dancing along and singing along. So what was it like for you, both of you, to watch the episode with a sing-along crowd?
It was crazy, and I got a little teary a couple times with everybody getting into it. Wow. Thank you for making my year. That was insane.
Same. I mean, just to watch it like that and to hear you guys all singing along, that was insane. I'm kind of speechless, which is not like me.
It isn't.
So the thing is, right now, as it stands, before the season premiere of Star Trek Discovery drops its first episode, its first 2 episodes, this coming Thursday, April 4th, the number 908, that is how many episodes of Star Trek have aired since 1966. 908 plus 13.
Tom Polce is a staff composer at CBS Television, Paramount Plus, and so he's done all of your favorite music from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and other stuff. And he and I were bandmates, and so he was asked if he wanted to. It's kind of a longer story than this, but the Cliff Notes. He was asked if he wanted to write a musical for Star Trek, and he was like, yes.
What?
And then he realized at some point, even though I have no doubt that Tom could have written this whole thing by himself, that he was probably going to need some lyrical help. And so he called his sister-in-law, me, and so.
Yeah, we did not have an enormous amount of time to write all this music, right?
5 weeks.
Yeah. So I knew that I was going to need some help, and I'm so happy she said yes, because none of this would have happened otherwise. Good Lord. And then we had, as you could see, everybody in the cast was all in. I mean, Star Trek, a sci-fi musical, that could go lots of ways, right? And thankfully, everybody was 100% in. The vibe was amazing. So we wrote the songs. We then shared them with everybody. Oh,
With
I should
Bill.
also mention that one of the writers for the episode is right here, right now.
Bill
The great Bill
Wolkoff.
Wolkoff. Please stand up, everybody. This doesn't exist without Bill and Hannah Morgan.
It's the Duncan guy.
Bravo! Well, okay, so when you're like collaborating with the writers of the episode, it's Dana Horgan and Bill Wolkoff, and the director of the episode is Dermot Downs. Did you like have a powwow with them about like, okay, these are
Lots of them.
about that?
Weekly. I mean, so we would have weekly Zoom meetings with them, and Tom would come to my house, usually with like a melodic, like a
Guitar and an idea.
And he would come with a guitar and an idea, the truth. And then we would sit down and we would write the skeleton of the song, and then we would run it by Bill and Dana and the showrunners.
And the great Henry Alonso Myers.
Yep, and Akiva.
And Akiva, yeah.
And then they would thumbs up or be like, oh, maybe could you do something like this? Could you not say this there? Or say one example was in the Chapel song, I'm Ready.
Yes.
We were kind of like at the end, we really wanted to kind of like twist the knife with Spock, and we were like, oh, we can't do that.
She's being
Apple
too
would never
nasty.
do that. She's being too mean.
We pulled that knife out. We didn't make it happen.
We said we had like this very polite ending to it, and then when we got on the Zoom call with Bill and Dana and the gang, they were like, can you twist the knife at the end? And we were like,
As a matter of fact, we can.
Yes, we can.
And we did, and she did.
she did.
And she did.
Yeah.
So, that wouldn't have happened without this great sort of sandbox of creativity. And, every time we brought them songs, they just made them better. It was just kind of a perfect moment, that was spawned by not a lot of time. We had to get it done, and just crazy creativity and not giving a you-know-what. Just going for it. And, then the cast went for it with us, and it all worked. And you all singing with us tonight, I mean, gosh, I know it worked.
This was a beautiful moment. Like I'm like looking around. I'm like, wow, they're really singing. Like they know the words.
Why are we singing?
You guys are awesome. This is my Star Trek is awesome. All right, so talk about in terms of working with the cast, you lucked out with Celia Rose Goody and Christina Chong. They are amazing. But when it came to I don't know, Ethan Peck and Anson Mount, maybe you might have to work with them a little bit. So did you talk to them first to be figure out what their range would be?
Yeah, so the way this worked out is once we decided, okay, we're doing this, it was important that I meet everybody to sort of figure out. I didn't know what the vibe was yet. I didn't know if they were going to be into it or not, so I went out and I met with everybody separately. I had a room with a guitar and a microphone. On set. So, they'd shoot and they're like, you got to break, go figure it out with Tom. So they would come in one by one. I would assess how much into it they were. Everybody was way into it. And then we would just talk about, well, what do you listen to? What kind of music do you like? Let's sing together. So everybody would walk in and, for instance, Ethan came in and the first thing out of his mouth is like, I don't sing. And I was like, okay, so what do you like to listen to? So we started bonding over what he liked to listen to. He told me he played cello. I knew he had some musical background. So I think I had an app up. I said, all right, show me a song you like. I popped in on the speaker. I said, sing please. So he started singing, and it was immediate. I was like, oh, he can sing. Yay. And I said it to him. I was like, brother, you can sing. He's like, no, I can't. Yes, he can. So, in one by one, Anson, same thing. He's like, I don't sing. I was like, okay, so what do you like to listen to? He likes the rock and roll. So we started finding some music he dug. I think we listened to some John Mellencamp, and we listened to some maybe Bruce Springsteen, and he started singing. I was like, oh, he can also sing. And not only was he able to sing, but more so, as you could see, he was 1,000,000% into it. I mean, he had one of the greatest sung lines in that whole thing. The Starship Enterprise feels
Electrified.
Be your captain. Yeah. So, I mean,
We love you so much.
Yes. I'm gonna be tearing on the way home. But that's just an example of how everybody was into it. And, I would be remiss not to mention, of course we had these incredible singers. Rebecca was an amazing singer. Sally was an amazing singer. Every single person came with ultimate positivity, and it was this infectious joy. They were coming in on the weekends when they really weren't supposed to be working to do this, and everybody came in with the best vibe. And we're all just so pleased, and I'm so pleased that everybody else.
Talk about infectious joy being in this room tonight, listening to everybody sing, and really get into this episode. Sitting right behind you, I mean, like, this is like, boy, do we need this! I swear, we needed this moment here. So three questions. Like, what was the first song you took on? What was the easiest to write? What was the hardest?
Oh boy. Okay. The first song, well, Tom did the sketches for the first two songs.
Began those.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the first song we wrote together was Christina's song.
Yes.
Was
How would
the-
that feel?
yeah, how
That
would
would have
that
been the first
feel?
one in that room.
And I remember I think the chorus, the "and I,"
Yes, yeah.
I think that was like that just came flying out, and we wrote that very quickly.
We got lucky with all these. So,
Yeah.
you know, we had no time, so I would show up and we knew we had some script pages and we had an idea of what the songs needed to be about. We would hang for what, a couple hours?
No, 90 minutes.
Okay, 90 minutes.
minutes tops.
And, you know, we got lucky because every time we were able to dial in something.
Like an
and
arrangement with like
yeah.
a melody and like a bunch of lyrics.
Yeah.
And then he would go home, build up the track. I would write the lyrics.
Flesh out those lyrics.
And then
we would come back, finish it,
and we would
start the next one.
and start the next one.
Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
And
rinse and repeat.
and so the easiest one was maybe that first one. I mean, that
Yeah, I think we were so psyched and also scared out of our minds that.
Yeah, and I think when they said you really like it, we were like,
Yes,
all right,
that
we're gonna
was-
be okay.
yes.
And I remember Bill and his team had notes on the end of the song where they
Yeah.
wanted it
The turn, that
to
turn.
have that turn at the end where she was like, you know, like I'm not like this. My fear is staked. I have no faith. And I remember just like feeling so grateful to have the permission
Yes.
to go, you know, as a lyricist, and especially for something like Star Trek, like we weren't sure how far we could go, and like, and the answer at the end was like go in, like get in there
At all times,
So,
they just said.
yeah, at
go.
all times. And so like I don't think I've ever I literally have I've been writing songs for we both have for 30 years
Yeah.
or whatever.
Ouch.
And I've never cried while writing a song until Keep Us Connected.
And
And
speaking of
yeah.
crying, one of the great directives they gave us, so, you know, we would have these
Oh,
Zooms,
right,
and at
yeah.
the very beginning of this, when we were trying to figure out, like, what is this thing about? What are these songs going to be about? You know, it was clear to all of us that this wasn't going to be an hour of jazz hands and
Yeah.
superfluous music. What was important was that lyrically,
Narrative.
it was a narrative, and there was exposition of these characters emotionally. And what they said to us, I swear, they were just like, "We want people to cry." That's what they said.
So I took that to heart, meaning I want me to cry.
Yes,
I want me to cry.
that's
And
what
I
it
did, and I cried. I still cry. But
I
mean,
cried a little bit tonight when you were singing.
I sobbed writing the Uhura song.
Yeah.
Just the, yeah.
And just, you know, you had mentioned, you know, what was the easiest or the hardest song. One story that I have to talk about is the ending.
Oh my
was
God.
this finale, and we knew, like, it was coming up. It was sort of like, you know, we're driving and we see that wall coming and we're speeding up and we know we're going to get there and we know we have to write for the Klingons. So, you know, what is this going to be? So we're writing the finale, and that was a jigsaw puzzle musically and lyrically. I think we lost our minds doing that thing. Literally. And then it came to the Klingon thing, and we knew we had to do it. I show up at Kay's place, and I'm like, all right, so we got to, you know, I'm walking in knowing we have to write this. And before I could even open my yapper, she's like, I know what we're doing, just hear me out.
For the Klingon.
Yeah, for the Klingon bit, I know what we're doing, just hear me out. And she says,
I said, they need to be a K-pop band.
that's it.
And by this time, we've already gotten, like, we're already comfortable with the idea that we're like going for it at all times.
Yeah, they let us do everything. I mean,
yeah. And so I showed Tom a video of my favorite K-pop. I will not name that band because, you know, I can't. But I showed you the video and you were like, oh.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I swear a lot, so there's probably
Yeah.
children in here. I'll stop.
Yeah.
And then, so we got on our Zoom.
And well, let's just be clear. I told Kay, I was like, look, I'm into this, but when we get on the Zoom, you're the one who's pitching it. So, yes.
Thank you.
So,
So
yes.
we got on the Zoom.
And I was like, Kay's got something to ask or tell you.
And so I pitched and I think I shared screen.
Yep.
And showed them the video.
Not even a bat of an eye.
They were like, yes.
Yes, now do
We'll
it.
do that. So here's the thing. So it turned out, it was so amazing to like write those and also to like learn the Klingon vernacular and like
Yes.
really get those like violent images into like this happy K-pop song.
Which is important to
It was
mention
amazing.
because like as with that one, as with songs like Status Report where you've got all of this Trek vocab, that doesn't happen without Bill and Dana. You know, this was such a collaboration.
And Wikipedia.
You know, it was just, yeah.
To learn
Yes.
to learn Klingon.
Yes. So it was really this collaboration.
And not for nothing, we did end up writing because the
on-the-nose version of
on the
this.
nose version is what do you think would be sort of like the obvious?
Playing it out.
Exactly. So guess
We
what?
did it.
There actually is an opera version of.
We shot it. It exists. I think you
It
can get it
exists.
on the DVD of season 2.
There are DVDs.
Yeah, there's a DVD of all season 2 with some extras, and that's there.
Is this true, Bill? Are we supposed to even be saying this?
No, it's out. It's
Okay.
out. It's out.
It's out.
And you know, we should. I'd be remiss not to mention the great Bruce Horak, the actor, came back to perform that. You know, he just showed up and crushed it. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
One question I do want to ask in terms of just the music is like, how did you collaborate with the composer for the series? Nami Milimet?
Nami was so as we mentioned, we had like 4 hours to do all of this, and Nami was also scoring the show.
Right.
So we met, but there was not a lot of. We had to just hunker down and get done. So she was doing the score, we were writing the songs. Nami put together the end, that sort of medley at the end, right? So that would have been the collab, but it was really due to time and due to just not enough hours. There was no real conversation other than here are the songs. Why don't you put them together for a killer ending? And that's
Just this whole season 2 of Strange New Worlds. You kept talking about how we were just told keep going for it, go for it, go for it. The whole season went for it.
Yeah.
I mean, every episode of the second season has been incredible. And the third season is in production right now in Toronto, trying to figure out a way to go. Even if it's not approved, I don't care. I got to go to the Bridget Ann Prize. But this was a very big swing, because even though music has existed in Star Trek, we've had Uhura singing Beyond Antares and Conscience of the King, great episode. Spock singing Bitter Dregs and Plato's Stepchildren, not a great episode. But also the Charlie X, Charlie's our new darling. But those were not. This is why I am moderating this conversation.
It's amazing.
so much deep knowledge here.
That's like I said, 908 episodes are right here. But the first time, like you sat down to watch the finished episode, were you like?
Sobbed.
Bill's
the
birthday.
entire time. It was Bill's birthday.
Bill's birthday. We got together for Billy at his birthday at a bar, and we had some food, and we had a gang of people that love him in a room to celebrate him, and he brought a projector, and it was the day or the day after it came out.
It was the opposite of this.
Yeah, the opposite of this. Very chill room. We played it together, and as you can imagine, experiencing this episode in a room with all of you was nuts and amazing and emotional. Watching it for the first time with a group of people responding to the songs at that bar,
Yeah.
woo! It was amazing. It was an amazing night.
And now to get to this point, here we are, maybe like 7 or 8 months later, and you're in a room of like people know the words. I mean, like, how does that make you feel that this episode was so special to new fans, new fans who got into Star Trek because of Strange New Worlds, or old fans who got into Star Trek like back when Nixon was president,
And these people have been there since the beginning, you can tell.
Yes.
Absolutely. Since
Yes.
19.
Well, bravo. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful job. This was really, really, for everyone in this room, like what you experienced here was really special.
Let's do it again.
And we got to do this again. All right, so a couple quick announcements. So again, make sure you get your poster for Subspace Rhapsody. We got plenty to go around this time. No one's leaving empty-handed. Make sure you get yours too. Okay. Also, like I mentioned before, on June 7th, the vinyl soundtrack for every song here of Subspace Rhapsody will be available through LakeshoreRecordsShop.com. I'm going to say that again. It's LakeshoreRecordsShop.com. You can pre-order now. Season 3 of Strange New Worlds is in production right now in Toronto. Season 5 of Discovery, the first 2 episodes drop this coming Thursday. Thank you. This coming Thursday on Paramount Plus. Big thanks to WonderCon. Big thanks to Paramount Plus for making this happen. And one more thing.
Thank you.
How cool was it that the words, the lyrics were written in TOS box? That was extremely cool. Thank you, Anaheim. Thank you, WonderCon. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Kay.
Thanks, everybody.